Hi guys, it's me Mel with Lethalia's Little Hook with Melanie, and I thought it was about time for another kitchen adventure. Welcome to my kitchen. You can't see on the stove. Let me fix that. Down. There we go. What do we have arrayed? We are making, and we're crooked. I can't take it. I can't. My OCD. Anyway, we are making caramel sauce. It is difficult. Caramel can be difficult. My dad tried to make it and burnt it, and it can go from undercooked to burnt like that. So I made it for him. In case you don't know, I actually went to technical school to be a pastry chef and got it was a diploma as a pastry chef in pastry arts. I worked for a short time, very short time, in a three-star restaurant. Ooh, fancy. As an assistant pastry chef. It was actually the happiest time. The happiest I was at a job. I was in there from 7 a.m. to 11 at night most days, and I was at my happiest. But they only really had hours for most of their staff during like the holidays. So from like fall to winter, and then they would lay off most of their staff. And guess who got laid off? So then I ended up, my school said, oh, yes, we will help you get jobs in restaurants and cruise ships. And when we all graduated, they said, oh, no, we're helping you get jobs in cafeterias and grocery stores. Yeah, it was one of those feed you the line things to get you to pay the tuition. So I ended up working in grocery store bakeries as a cake decorator, and I actually enjoyed that. I enjoyed the artsy side of it as a cake decorator. I also made wedding cakes for my friends, and this has nothing to do with this, but so making caramel sauce. It's tricky. This may end in disaster, just forewarning you. I'm going to try to triple the batch of the recipe, and that may be why it ends in disaster. It could also, anytime you make it, just end in disaster because it's finicky. But we are going this is one of my better burners for this. The other one is like a turbo burner. Even on low, it boils water. So we're not using that one. But I have a recipe here that is free online that I found that makes a delicious caramel sauce. Yes, I say caramel, not caramel. That's just how I say it. You can say it any way you like. And you can add salt or not to make it a salted caramel. And we do. Oh, we love our salt. So I will link this recipe below that I am using, and I will give you whatever tips and tricks I have learned or I use, and we'll see how it goes. All right? I will be right back as we get started. Okay, I put in my granulated sugar and my water, which are the first two ingredients, and they want you to evenly layer them along the bottom. And I'm just stirring them so the water gets all the sugar. Now, most of this recipe, you're going to feel like you want to stir it. Do not stir it. That is the nemesis of caramel. You stir it, you're going to burn it. And people want to stir. I don't have any heat on yet, okay? They want to stir. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So I'm just stirring to make sure everything's wet. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the heat on. Now you notice I also have a whisk here. That's for later. Okay, you're going to want the whisk for later. So everything's wet. It's all evenly distributed on the bottom. Before I turn the heat on, I'm going to get some water in this. I'll show you what that's for. And that also, in case you have it, if you make caramel, you're going to want, it doesn't have to be silicone, but you're going to want a brush. Okay? And I'll show you what that's for. Okay. Balance. So we want medium heat, which on this burner is about a 3, maybe a little lower. We'll adjust it as we go. Now it says warm pot over medium heat and cook until the sugar dissolves and it turns clear. It'll be foggy at first. I mean, I bet a bunch of you are bakers, cooks, so you know all this. But in case you don't, in case this is your first foray into sugar, you know. Now, what the brush and the water are for is, since you're not stirring, the sugar will cook and bubble up the sides, and you'll get crystallization on the sides of the pan. You dip and you rinse down the sides, and you get all of that off the sides so it doesn't burn. You're just cleaning the sides of the pan. And that way you don't get any burnt sugar. No burnt sugar, none of that horrific smell. And it keeps you busy while the caramel is cooking. Gives you something to do instead of worrying that you need to be stirring. Now this will take a while. It definitely will take a while, especially since I tripled the recipe. And that's why I picked a bigger bottomed pan than my other one. I didn't want it to be a thicker, taller concoction. Then we would definitely have a burnt bottom. Not a soggy bottom. No Mary Berry. No soggy bottom. We're not doing a pie. And so it says it will start to bubble. It will be cloudy at first, but it will turn clear, bubbling liquid, and it will take 3 to 4 minutes. So I'll let you go until it gets to that point. Don't want to keep you too long. See you soon. I brought you closer so you can see it's starting to bubble. And you really do want to keep it on a lower than a higher setting because it could burn very easily. But you can see how it starts to clear as it bubbles, even around the edges. And once it starts to clear, once it is completely clear, you will not stir it again until you're adding the other ingredients. You can swirl the pot, but you cannot stir it. How many of you watch the baking shows like I do, like Great British Baking Show, and now they've got the Great American Baking Show with the same judges. I'm so excited to see that. But I also watch like the Food Network ones with like oh, why can't I remember their names? It's not Cake Boss. It's my Baltimore cake guy. Duff Goldman. Oh, come on, brain. You know who I'm talking about. Ace of Cakes. He's one of the judges. He does the kids one. He does all the seasonal ones. With the kids, it's Valerie Bertinelli. I love watching those. So excited. So until this is completely clear, we do not stir. And then as crystallization shows up on the edges, we go around like this to keep it down with the water. It's just that simple. So this is one recipe you have to stay at the stove the whole time. And see how clear it's becoming? You can see the bottom of the pot already. And then it says it'll take about anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes to turn an amber brown, like honey. That's the color you're looking for. Honey. So once it's honey colored, we will add the butter, which I've already chunked up. You want it in chunks. I did about like half a tablespoon to a tablespoon for the chunks. And when you add that, it will whoosh, bubble up rapidly. But just keep whisking it down. Okay? So you carefully add this. And see, it's already getting just a tad bit colored. If you can see that. It's getting a little bit of a golden color. Let my non-melodic voice soothe you through this cooking demonstration. Oh, my sister says my voice is annoying. So far, so good. How many people thought they'd be watching a bubbling pot of sugar today? Hands? Hands? This, moonshine jug. It's not a moonshine. Actually, I have no idea what it is. It's a brewing company. Is my homemade vanilla. And if you would like to know how to make homemade vanilla, just email me. My email will be in the description box down below. Well, not in the pot, but down below. And I will give you instructions on that. No biggie there. And yes, it is turning colors. How lovely. Not bad on the crystallization either. I will turn you off until it gets a darker color. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of bubbling and it's turning color slightly. Hold on. A lot of bubbling and it's actually crystallizing even though I've been doing the thing. It's every time I put the brush back in the water, it solidifies on the brush. So I'm now going to the swishing thing to try to keep it from crystallizing on the edges. So this is what they mean by swishing. I'm trying to get the bubbles to pop. It is amberizing. Is that a word? Amberizing. I turn the heat just the slightest bit up. Not to burn, but just to get it the color. I thought maybe it was just a little too low. Because in my time, it has been well over 12 minutes. So, and it is not yet a honey color. Yeah. So we will see how it does, all this good stuff. But this is what I was getting on my brush when I was putting it back in the water. Yeah, soft candy. What do they call that? Softball state of sugar. I'm just trying to get it so I can see the color through the bubbles. There are so many bubbles. I do not want it turning to black before I can notice, you know? My nose will pick it up. Super sniffer from working in kitchens so long. Oh my goodness. It is turning colors. It will get there. I am dreading washing this though. Our water heater broke and we have been without hot water for a week. We have been having to wash in cold water and hard. I'm going to have to boil water to wash this. We were supposed to get our water heater today because it turned out we were supposed to get it last Friday, and my dad called the shipping company. It was never scheduled for delivery. The things that happen. Oh, it is getting that caramel smell. It is right on the cusp. Right on the cusp. I don't want to do it too early though. I don't want a weak caramel. Come on, baby. It looks like rock candy around the edge, doesn't it? I'll bring you guys back. Okay, I thought I'd turn you guys back on again because my nose says it's very close to burning, and the color is getting a very dark golden, so it will turn amber any second. And oh, yep, there. It's starting to turn amber. And I want you to be able to see the fun butter trick. So it is almost a beer color. I'm not a beer drinker, but it is very close. I'm going to call it in maybe about 20 more seconds, 20, 30 more seconds. So the only ingredients after this are butter, cream, vanilla, and sugar. Okay. And the butter goes in on the heat. That is a good golden amber color. I cannot move that. I want to give it another. Yep, there we go. There's our color. All right, in goes the butter. And there's our reaction. This is how you, I believe, make honeycomb. I'm not sure. Oh God, that smells good. And you just want to stir it up until it's all incorporated. Guess we can just do this then. One more. Whisk until completely melted. Oh gosh, that looks good. Now I'm making a caramel sauce. So this is why, oh yeah, lovely. I'm gonna make sure all of those chunks are incorporated. Oh, and we got the perfect color. My dad's going to be so happy. The last batch I made him, he thoroughly enjoyed. I still see some little bits in there. I've already measured out the heavy cream. I just got some heavy whipping cream. We take it off the heat for this one. So off the heat. I'm going to move it to the middle. And you're still in frame, so that's good. Still whisking. We'll actually move you, if I can, just a little closer. There we go. And this one we Slowly pour in the cream, whisking continuously until it's been incorporated, okay? Oh, if I could only share this smell with you. Now this will thicken as it sits, okay? It looks really runny right now, but it's going to thicken as it sits. That's a little trick I learned, switching up the stirring direction. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Now we just have a few other things, okay? So, whisk in the vanilla and salt. It says a pinch of salt. We like a good amount of salt, and I tripled the recipe. So, and I'm making it a salted caramel, so I am just, yep. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Yep. And I will taste it. I will. Once it's not going to, burn off my taste buds. And a tablespoon for the triple out of my gazillion glugs of, oh yeah, homemade vanilla. Oh gosh, so good. I usually add extra vanilla, but since this is a liquid recipe and I don't want to make it more liquid, I'm just going to add the real amount. And then it says, let sit on the stove for 10 minutes or sit aside to cool in the pan for 10 minutes. So I'm going to get the lid out and cock it on the pan so nothing falls into it, because do you want to ruin this? All right, I'm going to do this. Oh, that's hot. That's actually the perfect amount of salt in there. Oh my gosh, that's good. That is good. I could drink that. And there you have it. And I will show it to you after. I'm going to put it in jars because I have some friends I want to give this to. And then one jar for my dad. But I will see you later. Sorry, I just did that. Hi again, guys. So it's cooled for 10 minutes, and I have some sterilized jars. I looked it up. You should not can anything with dairy in it. So these are just to be enjoyed for the few weeks they can be kept in the fridge. You can freeze them, freeze caramel. But, I mean, it's a sauce. Just enjoy it for the few weeks. It even says it can be kept out on the table for a few days. But, whatever. I'm going to leave a little headspace. We're going to try to do this as well. I know I just put my hands in there, but I just washed them. We're going to try to do this as neat as possible. You can see how thin that is still, but like I said, it will. Look at the color. Here, let me look how the color came out. Perfect caramel color. We got that. You guys helped me. I know you were all there going, now, take it off the, do it now. So the color came out like that because of you guys. And I'm hoping I multiplied the recipe correctly for these amount of jars. What we'll do is we'll fill them all up a bit and then top them off. And hopefully keep the rims clean. Because it's a pain to clean the rims afterwards. So that'll be that one. Yeah. Drip, 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 and over. Drip, 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 and over. Oh, the smell. Am I making you all hungry? Are y'all like, okay, now I gotta go to the store and get caramel, you know, or popping open your bag of Werther's? You know who you are. I'm gonna have to soak that. Heat up some water and soak it to get that crustaceous layer of sugar out of there. I do have a few more little jars if I have to, if I have overflow. Alright. Drip, 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 and over. I went to my storage unit to get my canning stuff, like the funnel and everything, and some new lids. I did not bother to bring any more jars. I have some big jars, but I don't have any more little jars. And I might need that. Oh no. I dripped some on the counter. Wasted caramel. Someone out there is screaming at me, caramel, caramel. This might be enough. I might have done it right. No, I am not licking the counter when I'm done with this. I'm not that desperate. Might run my finger around the inside of the pan though. Y'all wouldn't blame me for that, would you? I think I will come out right. Fill them up, top each one off, and we'll be good. And since we're not canning, we don't have to leave like a headspace for the... Oh, my dad's going to be so happy. That one might be a little too full though. Is that a thing with like hot fudge? I'm going to find myself a hot fudge recipe for the rest of that heavy cream. Make some hot fudge. Would you like to see that? Give me a comment in the comments if you would like to see homemade hot fudge. Yes, I make a mess, but I do clean it up. I used to never clean up thoroughly after I cooked. There'd be powdered sugar and flour on the floor that I would miss. Now I am very good at cleaning up. Oh yes, definitely don't do this when you don't have hot water. Exactly the right amount for this many jars. This is like a frickin' Werther's commercial or something. One of those Lindor, and they do the chocolate into the, yeah. I'm just rambling now. Okay. As you can see, it's already starting to thicken. And I will clean those up and then top them. But that was our kitchen, what do I call them? Kitchen adventures. That's my playlist. And this one actually turned out all right. Thumbs up. All right. I will see you guys later, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. Shine bright like the stars you are.